So what's driving the Bronco without the doors or the top? Basically running completely topless on the Bronco. What's that like? We're going to be covering that, Marie and I. She'll be with us in just a moment. But really, this is also going to take us all the way to the very end of the video where we're going to have a must-know Bronco info. So we're going to be showing all the interiors to really help you know, what are you getting yourself into if you order a Bronco, or should you change your current Bronco order? We'll also be talking about seat belts and the problems that they cause in the back. We'll talk a little bit about the 2.3 liter, that's the 4-cylinder turbo, versus the 2.7 liter, our impression since we've had two 2.7 liters, and we've also driven the 2.3 liter. And of course, we'll also talk about 2023 order date, so when you can order a Bronco, as well as build date. But before we get to that, and actually a whole lot more in the conclusion, near then, we're going to be really covering all the must-know Bronco info. But before that, let's just see what the Bronco is like on the road when you've taken everything off. Because really, the whole point of, well, I'm Johnny at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, and the whole point of us, the JCCR crew, including our members, we're all here to help you out. So our members are actually hugely helpful, often in answering comments and in the lives, answering questions. So we've got a really great community here. So you should really, please do consider liking and hitting that subscribe button. And of course, if you do share this content, that will help the word get out even more so. But by subscribing, you're really subscribing into the JCCR crew, where we work hard to feed you all the right info. Cut through, sometimes, we do a bit of BS busters, where we cut through a bit of the bull that can sometimes be carried out by the media, because they seem to get obsessed with one little thing and sometimes blow things out of proportion when there's often an easy solution, or that the problem isn't nearly as bad as it is. So, I've talked about blown engines with the 2.7 liter, and some media sources kind of made it sound that if you get a Bronco, your engine's gonna blow, and it's far from that. Still under, I believe, 50 reported cases, unless it's gone slightly more since then. But anyways, let's get to all that must-know information at the end. For now, let's take the Bronco out for a drive. What does Winston want?
He wants to ride. He wants wind in his hair. He's right.
So we've been driving with the doors off, and I'd say, we're gonna rate this, okay? So I'd say driving through town, I'd give it, a 9. It's good. If we're on the beach, though, we're saying maybe it's made for the beach. If we're on the beach, we'd have all sorts of sand coming in, because we had, leaves and other stuff, trash even flying in. You want to tell us about that?
I felt something was running on my feet, and I was like, what is that? I put my hand, and it was a paper, like for, how can we say that?
Candy wrapper.
Snack.
Yeah.
Yeah, a wrapper for a snack, so... I was like, where is it coming from? And it's not something that we bought normally, so I know that it's the tire that throws it in the car.
When you're driving around with a Bronco with no doors, do keep in mind that pretty much everything from outside can, fly into the vehicle. So you can have garbage, and you can have truck, and then you have garbage, truck. Now, on that incredibly useless buyer's advice, let's actually go for a drive and then get to the must-know Bronco information. So we're top down, doors off, cruising, and so far, it's pretty, I find it's pretty rad. I definitely wouldn't want to do any dirt roads this way, because we'd be covered in filth. Marie, how are you finding it?
It's very, it's cool, but the first time I was feeling naked. Everybody can see in the vehicle, so...
You're bad tripping. I don't know. Winston doesn't seem to be bad tripping. He seems to want to, go. He's trying to jump out of the vehicle.
No, he doesn't understand. He's looking down and says, he's like, whoa, where's the door? I can see the street. It's more like he doesn't understand what happened.
This is the best way to have. Well, it's almost kind of like being in a motorcycle. You don't have anything on the sides, and it takes some getting used to. I have to almost tell myself, don't look down. I'm driving. I definitely should not be looking down, but it's like, it's tempting. But definitely, if you're driving through any of the sites, it's pretty awesome. You do hear the tires. When the doors are on, I don't hear the tires whatsoever, the Sasquatch tires, but I can definitely hear the tires now. That's part of the experience. It's nothing too bad. You could just drown it out with a little music. nice to hear the engine, that's for sure. So do you think Winston's happy, Marie?
Yes, he loves the wind.
Yeah, he's giving it a 10 out of 10. Well, we love the wind so far, but we haven't been on the highway, so wait to find out what that's like.
Today's a hot day, so that's perfect to try it. We needed wind, you know.
Yeah, going through town, this is awesome, the doors off experience. But I have a feeling that when we go on the highway, we might not like it quite as much. Our love for this doors off action might turn into a bit of a love-hate situation, but stay tuned and find out. Hey Winston, how are you finding this door off, top down driving going? Yeah, just moments ago you were debating whether you jump down, so that's a huge danger. That's why Mom has to hold on to you, and you're attached to the seatbelt.
Double protection.
Double protection for Winston, who wants to go run on the pavement. Bad idea, bro. I think Winston's bad tripping.
Too much wind.
So, highway driving, I rate this a 0 on 10. City driving, I'd rate this at what? Maybe like a 9 on 10. It's fun going through the city, and it's pretty amazing looking at really nice houses and driving along waterfronts. So driving along waterfronts, it really is great. Winston loves it. Marie, how would you rate the door off? Do you recommend?
I love it, but I'm not that sure because, like I said before, I felt naked. Everybody can see in the car. And with Winston, it's a safety to have the door, but he's all buckled up to make sure.
Yeah. You told Winston to buckle up. You said, buckle up, Winston.
Yeah, buckle up, Winnie. And yeah, because normally just removing the top does the job, I guess. So yes, it adds a little bit more, but it's not. I didn't want to do that all day.
No, I'd say top down is 10 out of 10, pretty much every situation. And top down, like, we don't remove the last little bit, but when it comes to doors off, I didn't like how when you put the bags on, you really have to watch out that the zippers don't scratch the clear coat, your paint essentially, or what's covering your paint. That I really didn't like. And on the highway, you'd say what would you rate it out of 10 on the highway? 0 being not recommended at all.
It goes good, but with the I guess it's because of the dog with us. Maybe it's easier to leave him home when we don't have doors because it was too much wind for him.
And for highway driving, it was great up to about 50 miles per hour. Then every 10 miles per hour more we do, the more uncomfortable it is. And yeah, of course, the more you hear the tires. So not too bad, but not the bee's knees. But driving through town and sightseeing, the doors off is just incredible.
Yeah, I guess on the beach it will be a real pleasure to do that. It always depends on where you do that, I guess. But I love it.
So really cool for sightseeing. And the look, well, it's pretty subjective, but love the look of the doors off. Now let's check in with the other member of JCCR, Winston. You're mad because we're not moving, because this is an 11 out of 10 in every respect, except you did hide your face when we went over miles. We hit about 60 miles per hour, and what were you doing? You're hiding in Mom's armpit.
Yeah.
Your whole face was in Mom's armpit. So don't try to act like a tough guy saying that you can't wait to get back on the road.
But he really loves to, when he sees dogs, he's like, hey, I have so much fun, and he's looking at them.
Yeah, he's kind of a bitchy poodle. He's kind of being a snob. He was chinning up the other dogs.
He's snob, but he likes to be the cooler dog.
He's a fresh French poodle.
The fresh poodle of Villiers.
So Winston wants to get back on the road, but before we do that, clip your buckles. Otherwise, your plastic is going to get scratched up and you're going to get this really annoying wind noise the whole time. So you can see a bit of scratching right there. I'll get that out, but yeah, you're going to hear clapping the whole time. Buckle up, even the back seat if no one's there. Hey Winston, you're going to drive now? You good, man? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go driving. Okay, so really everything. This is a 28-degree Fahrenheit day, so very hot, and went through maybe 2 mud puddles. And it's not just on the vehicle, but it actually made its way in the vehicle. So it's not just garbage. Do expect, not just garbage is gonna come in, but basically everything is gonna come in. I had a leaf playing around with my feet. I didn't freak out and think it was a bug and drive off the road. So you just have to keep that in mind when you take your doors off. You're gonna get dirty. Okay, now for some must-know Bronco info. First of all, let's start off with those seat belts. After we clipped them in the back, yeah, they didn't scratch the plastic anymore, but they drove everyone but Winston crazy because the seat belt in the wind flaps like crazy against the leather. And, well, that just made us have to pull over on this mountain road, take a nice picture, and just go back to scratching the plastic and unbuckling those seat belts. So, yeah. It's not the best. If we would have had fabric like the Bronco we just saw, everyone would have been happy, and not just Winston. But the thing we were most upset about is when putting back the doors, the tolerance is so unbelievably slim. Now, we were 2 people, we were going slow, but we went in about 1 centimeter higher than we should have been. And that chip right there is just from the inside of that front fender taking it off. Now let's talk about interiors, because we've seen a lot of Broncos here on the channel. Now for interiors, we do really like the leather. Of course, Wild Track, you gotta like this color scheme because it only comes with this one color scheme. So that's what it really looks like in real life. Now we're actually particular fans of roast. We do love having the big screen. We've had the 8-inch and the 12-inch, and we do feel the 12-inch is well worth the money. Now, this is all the photos from the inside of the Wild Track. In no way do we find it disagreeable, but we do like the roast brown and blue. I love it. Marie likes it. It's a pass. But here's the interior of an Outer Banks. You can get the roast interior only on the Outer Banks, but of course you can Sasquatch an Outer Banks, and that's actually a decent trick. I'll explain about how you can get your Bronco sooner in just a moment. But you've got this really nice roast, so brown leather interior mixed with blue, a little bit of, silver gray, and of course black. So really quite a pleasure to see. If it's not for you, that's fine. Looks are always subjective. Don't judge me just on what I like. Now, our big trick of the day is go soft top, because Broncos that have soft tops, 2.3 liter soft top Sasquatch even, has come in within 4 months. And if you are thinking cloth, well, there's your cloth interior. Nothing wrong with it. The seat belts won't slap against the leather nearly as loudly when you drive door down. But after chipping our doors, that's probably the one and only time we will drive door down. The tolerance levels are just way too small. But what is our favorite model? Well, our favorite model is the Badlands. Marie loves the interior of the Badlands, and it'll take you to all your off-road adventures. You'll have all the fun you need to have with the Badlands. And remember, it's the only one with the stabilizer bar disconnect. The interior, you can get it wet. If you've taken your doors off and it starts raining inside the vehicle, don't worry, you've got the washout floors and the marine grade vinyl interior. Now, a hardtop like the one we just saw, that is a recipe for waiting 1 year or more for your Bronco. This is a 4-cylinder soft top, 4 months. 4-cylinder, that's the 2.3 liter. Hard soft top Sasquatch, 5 months. So Sasquatch now, they're really catching up on them. They are getting there sooner. You should also know that, do protect the bottom of your vehicle with plastic wrap, because like you saw in that winter photo, sludge and ice does accumulate over the back doors. Now, we had driven earlier on a manual 2.3 liter, and with my shifting skills, I found it to be just a little slow, and I really felt that 2.7 liter EcoBoost 6-cylinder was the way to go. But just recently, I properly put the pedal down, the pedal to the metal, on a 2.3 liter 10-speed, and with the fast, smooth transitions of those gears, I love the 2.3 liter. It's a good engine. So you don't have to go 2.3 liter to get your Bronco sooner. You just really need to avoid the hardtop. Don't be fooled. As much as there's a huge list of things to avoid, I've seen so many of these Broncos come in, and so often the 2.7 liter is not what's holding it back. Sasquatch was holding it back, but now they're building Sasquatches based on actual need. They've got the parts for it, and we haven't had any major issues getting Sasquatches thus far. We'll see what demand does to everything, but totally totally into that 2.3 liter with a 10-speed automatic. Manuals are fun, but I feel the manual with the time you lose shifting gears, that needs the 2.7 liter. So even if we are speed hungry freaks, we do certainly like the 2.3 liter. It gets the job done really well and has more power and more feeling to it than the 6-cylinder from the Jeep. So if you like a 6-cylinder on a Jeep, you're gonna love that 2.3 liter 4-cylinder. It packs a real punch. Now, huge news, really important. Do keep in mind for the Bronco, these are our dates. You can order a 2023 Bronco August 15th. So put that date in your calendar. August 15th, we can order a Bronco because 2022s are sold out. And they're going to start building 2023 Broncos the 14th of November. So order one as soon as you possibly can. And if you want it to go quickly, let's not be stubborn here. Avoid the hardtop and you should get your Bronco pretty quickly. Have a great one. Take care and thanks for watching.